One and hitting the record button. Excuse me. Now,
All
okay,
right.
let's do this thing. Hello, Survivor Series. Survivor Series. This time different. War games. All right, I think I did that right. I think that that sounded good, right?
Sure.
War
She said,
games. But yeah, war games though. Survivor Series different this year. Boston, yeah, Boston, Massachusetts at the TD Garden. Yeah, Saturday and whatnot. So this show, first time Survivor Series has ever done War Games matches. Most of the time we see them in NXT. I think that was one early in the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, because yeah, we did have a War Games back in
yeah,
February. Yeah.
NXT 2.0 versus
But
NXT Golden
Which it really wasn't,
Black
but that's how
Gold.
they tried to push
We
it.
try to push it. They
yeah.
will try to push it.
Cause yeah, me and Kyle reviewed that show months ago. So in a total you
Yeah,
got
yeah, we
four,
do.
yeah, in a total you got 4 War Games matches this year. So yeah, a lot of War Games. But we kicked it off with Ozzy Osbourne, basically performing War Pigs and whatnot, like a video package, just him showing up on the screen and stuff. But it was a cool
Oh,
intro for him
It's
to
a
kick
great
off the
song.
show.
okay.
Hell of a song, definitely. So great intro to kick everything off. But we did kick it off. Michael Cole and Corey Graves were at ringside. Basically, talking a little about the history of War Games, Dusty Rhodes creating it back in Jim Crockett Promotions. And we kick it off with the women's match. Basically, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Mia Yim or Michin. Is that how you say it?
Meechin, yeah.
Michin.
Meeches. That's how you. All right, that's how you pronounce it. All right,
Yeah,
Meeches. All
I
right,
even though
Meeches.
I feel like it's still late in the game, why would they even change the name at this point? But yeah, Mia Yim versus Damage Control, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross. And man, was this was long, and man, there was a lot of sloppy spots in this match. I
And
think I saw
not
I
only
see
that, not only that, bro. My goodness, how many weapons did they have to bring in that ring? Real talk. It was just too many weapons in that match. That's all I would keep on saying about here. Too many weapons. Man, why do you have to bring more weapons? Did we need more Kendo Six? Hey, we need more trash can lids. I ain't know we needed all of this.
we got ladders also.
Oh my goodness! Did you? Why you have to mention the ladder? The ladder that only was used once. We had two of those boys. And it's only used one of them. It ain't even the way they were supposed to be used.
Yeah, they just did all the weapon stuff to superficially get people excited because you're not
Yep.
going to see blood in war games. So you got to get that excitement level up somehow. I mean, people are not going to be
But the
bleeding
match,
here. So
I understand that, Steve. But the match that we're going to talk about later on was much better without with less weapons.
well, we'll get into it, but I can tell you why
Yeah,
that is, but we'll get into it.
right, right. We'll get into it, but
Yeah, we'll get to
you
that
know,
one. But man, this whole thing, I swear to God, I saw so many botches I can't even count them all. I know I saw EO fall like 2 different times,
Yeah, I
and
don't
then
know what was up, man. Her, Bianca, it seemed like a few people were off, man. Everybody but Rhea Ripley seemed to be a little off. I
yeah, and
don't know
some of
what.
these people,
man, Rhea
have been in
came
the
in
war
like a
games.
man. Rhea came in like a house of fire, man. I was like, whoa. She elbow, bam. I was like, oh man, this girl here it came in like a house of fire last night. That was my MVP of the night. I mean, not the night, but that match. That
She
match
woke it up,
period.
man.
Yeah,
She
she
woke it
definitely
up,
did.
bro.
That's
She
that's
woke
true.
me up. She woke me up. My cousin, who don't even really watch wrestling, he watched it every now and then. He sat there with me and he watched. He's like, he know who Rhea Ripley is. He's like, oh man, Rhea just came in. I'm like, yeah, for
Just start
real. Look at
bodying
this.
everybody. And you look at this match, some of these people have been in War Games before. They've been in the match. Like Ripley's won one. Okay, she won one already. I was there to see that.
EO
EO,
too.
yeah, EO's been in it and won. I'm part of
Right,
the team.
yeah,
Dakota Kai's been in one. Bianca's been
Bianca's
in
been
one.
in one. Yeah.
Yeah, like a majority of these people have been in the War Games match.
yeah.
They were in better War Games matches too.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
this
oh,
wasn't
yeah.
it. This wasn't it. I promise
I
you. Everybody go, man. Everybody but us. I always love talking to y'all, man, because it's everybody but us that I sit here and listen to, and we gonna get it with the real deal. We gonna give it some unfiltered. You gonna get at least three opinions. I guess we on the same accord with this one, though. Ain't no three different opinions. I guess we on the same accord with this one. But still, I like talking to y'all because on the simple fact that we not gonna sugarcoat this. And this wasn't a great war game match. This wasn't even a good war game match.
No, I
Nah.
definitely wasn't feeling it. I told Bryce the 2-3 weeks ago, I immediately lost the interest I had in it when they announced that Mia Yim was the next person on the team and not like a Becky or a Beth Phoenix or even a Candice LeRae to an extent. It's just like, oh, so that's okay. I guess no Sasha Naomi. That was just wishful thinking. But as soon as they said it was Mia Yim on the team, I was like, oh,
Huh?
okay. I guess.
This
Yeah.
so hey, this so convenient. We just signed in and she had one match of this year. You know, that convenient, isn't it? It's like, come on, bro.
Very
It's
convenient. And you got a point. And Steven's got a point. I kind of did expect Beth Phoenix to be in it. Becky ended up being in it, so that's
Beth
one
had the
thing.
story. It was all about
Yeah,
her and Rhea.
that would have worked. Like it makes sense. You could have had Beth in there. You could have had Candace in there to get payback on damage control for taking her out and everything.
yeah, the story writes itself. My
Even
goodness.
even to some certain extent, even I would have somewhat expected, Sasha and Naomi, given that it's Boston. Sasha's from Boston, so I
Bingo.
was kind of maybe expecting that, but
Bingo.
I had a feeling at the same time I wasn't really also because I'm like, nah, like in a way I did think they were gonna do it, but I'm like, nah, they want to wait till like the Rumble or something like that.
Nah, you know what this told me? This told me Sasha's not coming back, bro. Because there is not
Damn.
a better position to bring her
Cause
back in than this one, bro.
right. Bingo. Bingo. I would have said I wouldn't even have Bianca say anything until that Friday night SmackDown. You get what I'm saying? And announce it was gonna be the crowd probably would have just booed, but I would have just let them boo because they would have been so happy the next night once they would have saw Sasha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's hometown.
and so that's why I'm looking like, yeah, the crowd probably would have booed you that Friday night if you would have told them it was a surprise and they were gonna have to wait until the pay per view next or to the pay per view the next night. But the surprise is worth it.
It
The
made sense for
surprise,
Becky to be on that team. So I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
Oh yeah, because
most
damage
definitely. No,
control.
no, no,
Damage
no.
control beat her up.
but if
But
it should have just been somebody other than me. Yeah.
there we go. Because
Yeah.
it's like me and it was the odd man out. We did it was like we really never established anything with you, Mia. Like, why are you even in this match? Like,
Just
who
count
beef?
Bullet
What
Club in.
beef you got with anybody really? Like, yeah, you can say real, but you just got here. I wouldn't even say you have real beef with her. Y'all didn't even have a face to face yet. So
And
how?
Rhea wasn't even in the match when she announced herself in the match. Rhea just
Yeah.
got in because of Mia. So they
Uh
can't even
huh.
say
Walk
that.
in there. She
There we
just walked in
go.
saying like, "Yeah, I'm in the team."
Like, man, that was just yeah. I didn't make any sense.
It
I
was,
did.
it
Structurally,
was
I
a
the
guess
lot
match didn't
that
even make sense. Like, why
sense.
would
bingo.
I feel like you like all right, on my Wrestle Rumble, I got second place by the way, but on that joint, it asked who do you think is going to start the match, and I said it was going to be Oscar and Io because it just made
Make
sense
more
in my
sense.
head.
Yeah.
Bianca as champ starting with Dakota Kai made no sense to me, bro.
I
Like,
was like champions first.
Right, the champion first. Whoa.
You
I
could
was
even
trying to
make an
tell you.
argument that since Becky just came back and she's been waiting to get her hands on him, that she wanted to start the match. But nah, Bianca was first with Dakota Kai of all people. It's
And
like,
you
what?
heard the
I'm like, this is who we
commentators.
starting out
Did
with.
y'all hear the commentators and what their excuse was for why Bianca started first? Oh, Bianca is a veteran in this war games on her team. She's the only one who was in there on her team.
That's
And I'm
crazy.
like, so that's the only reason why she first? Because she's only one with experience?
So we just gonna forget that EO climbed into a trash can and jumped off the roof with
No, I'm talking
the.
about on her team. No, I'm talking about
I
on
was
her
there
team.
live to see that. I was
No,
there.
no, I'm
I
talking about
was
on her
there.
team. Oh, Bianca
Oh, on the
team.
team, on the team, on the team.
Yeah, yeah, Bianca team. That she was the
Okay.
only one who was a veteran. Who I mean, not the veteran, but she's the only one who had war game experience on her team. So they
It
threw
probably
her in
was
first.
because she's got the best cardio, so they figured she could be in there the longest of
She
everybody on
looked,
that team.
she looked like she
Yeah.
ain't, wasn't tired. That girl do got some good cardio.
She track star.
Yeah. She Jack. Yeah. Yeah.
She
She
a
ran
track
track.
star. She's a track star. Bingo. That man, now everything got making sense why she such a cardio kid.
Oh yeah. She ran track. So yeah, like she got damn near limited cardio.
She said this EST shit ain't a gimmick, bro.
This
It
is
ain't.
not a
It's
gimmick,
legit.
bro.
It's
And
legit.
she, my goodness, she is straight up athlete, man. She
Cause
straight
like
up.
yeah. So like everybody else in the match, you don't know how long they would have lasted. And Becky just got back, so that's probably why they saved her till the end of the whole match.
I just feel like, in terms of how this match played out, it should have just been Oscar EO starting this match because, I mean, they got the tag team feud and everything. Plus, that's the
Mhm.
match that people just been saying, just do the match because we want to see the match. So what other night are you going to do that other than on this night? Just give us this little one on one before, Dakota comes in and plays spoiler. But nah, we had this exchange with Dakota and Bianca that wasn't real smooth, and then EO
And
came in
one
and she was
sided,
botching, and I was like, what's going on?
man. And it was not only what you were just saying, bro, with that it was all over the place at Bashi. Then it looked at one sided at one point. Like, my goodness, y'all knew this is what going to happen. That y'all
Oh
were going
yeah.
to have Bianca looking strong. As and what type of war game advantages do y'all have if y'all gonna send those two out there? And
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
Bianca did whoop them before. We
by
saw knew it was the
herself.
case.
Yeah. She killed her
Right.
by her own.
Me and my brother, I was talking to my brother. I was talking to my brother last night. Me and him were watching, and I was like, "Did we not see Bianca whoop these two numerous times? So
And
why?"
Bailey.
Yeah,
And
at Extreme
Bailey,
Rules. We all talked about this in the Extreme Rules review. Like we
and so
saw that.
what type of advantage do I have if I bring those two out? There's no advantage in that. I bring man, look, the match structure, like Steven said, should have been Oscar versus EO. Then you have Dakota Kai come in. There we go. The tag team champion. I mean, the tag team champions come in and they beat up on on the person who they've been beefing with for the title for the longest. Then Alexa come in and stuff to save her friend Oscar. And then y'all can throw whatever. Y'all can do whatever after that. Real talk. I just didn't like the structure.
Yeah, and the War Games concept, right? I'm starting to. I told Bryce this while we were watching the main event. It's like the first 30 minutes of this match can be so boring if it's not.
Yes, it is.
True. That's
It's got to
true.
be some of the best wrestling that you've seen because otherwise nothing matters until the last
Nothing.
person comes in.
It's
Right.
just everybody doing spots.
I'm
Like,
with you.
oh, okay, like this spot. Are we gonna do a Tower of Doom spot? Okay, we gonna do this double team move. We gonna throw a chair at somebody and
And what's crazy is I never felt like that
look hot
until
for like a
this
couple minutes,
match.
and
Like,
then
Until that match, and then last night,
and
I'm
nothing
with
else
you
really
though.
happens until everybody comes out.
I definitely agree with you though. Real talk, I definitely agree with you because that's exactly how it looks. Like, do any of this matter? No. My cousin kept on asking me like, why they not? wasn't going for it. I'm like, nah, this is war games, bro. Everything don't matter until the last person come in. Then once that last person come in, then that's when the match starts. And then that's what so coincidental that Becky comes in, and then that's when he hears the announcement. Oh, war games begins. Like, hold on. Then he look at, I'm like, I told you.
Yeah, it's like if you look at every long multi-person match, the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, like
Oh
they've
yeah.
got eliminations to keep you invested in what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But War Games, the I don't even really know why this was the first time I felt like it because I didn't feel like that throughout the NXT ones or Blood and Guts. Like I didn't feel like that until this match where I was just like, okay, okay, this is still going on until Becky comes in, I guess, and then we can finally get a match going. But yeah, man,
Mm.
I just wasn't feeling it.
Like
I
it just
I
drags. It just drags.
it got to the point. Hey, I want y'all to hear this because it might be one of those takes that I be having. But I just after last night, I felt like the rules were just after a while, like man, these rules are actually dumb, and I never thought about that until till this match. Like I watched blood, like Steven just said, I watched blood because I watched other numerous of war games throughout my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And I never felt like, dang, these rules are stupid, you know. And now I'm looking at this stuff now. These rules are dumb, bro. I don't like the rules now. That's so crazy. I really don't like that because it takes too long. It takes too long, real talk. Because after all the people come in, you still gotta have a match. It ain't like somebody gonna get hit with a finisher and boom, be it's done. Like you
Exactly.
still gonna have to have at least 15 to 20 minutes of this match to go on.
Yeah,
Nobody gets eliminated.
maybe they need to do elimination or something. I don't know. But this just wasn't it, man.
And it just like until like everybody comes out, like I said, once they got Becky out there in the end, then everybody can just start doing and actually having a match, and everybody's just either hitting finishers or doing whatever big moves and whatnot to play into the whole thing to like the last couple people standing. Then you get a big standoff, and of course you got to get the whole 5 on. Well, it's like once everybody comes in, everybody got to stand on one side, do the whole 5 on 5, and do a big massive brawl, and have a big stare down and whatnot. Like okay, we're all standing, and then we all just go and start brawling. Then everybody just start going through a whole bunch of weapons and tables and stuff.
Yeah, they did the exact same bit in both of these matches. Like you do the stare off, and then boom, now the match starts. Like
And
maybe they need to call this Survivor Games or something and
Survivor.
introduce elimination. Like change it up, man, because I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah,
And yeah,
it just went on and went on, and like it's like say it's good because like they needed, like I said, good thing they even got Becky back because like I'm sure that everybody was waiting for a big surprise anyways and what, like it's not a surprise, but just add more star power to the match and whatnot. Because and like I said, they brought the man gimmick back, not the David Bowie Becky Lynch version and whatnot. So it's like they had to like add more to get people, like people are already interested in this match, but like just add more star power to it. And like going into the end of this whole thing, because like the last people that was standing was Damage Control and
Bianca
um
and Becky.
Bianca and Becky, and then they have the big brawl thing, and what Bianca hit like a
I mean
KOD
those made
onto.
it.
That was the
With
last, yeah. Like they were the main people out of this whole thing.
you're
Cause
right.
what
You
like
know
what?
that's a made event picture right there. You
Yeah,
got
that's the main event
Bianca,
picture.
Becky, Bailey. That's a made event picture.
Yeah,
Everybody else is mid card at best. You know what I'm saying right now. And even Rhea, because Rhea really haven't had that made event defining match that said, "Bingo, here's the main event."
Yeah, they
They
put
need
her
to
on the
start.
back burner for sure.
Right.
yeah.
So you
She's
know
kind
what
of
I'm
fell
saying.
to the
So
background.
she's right. Right. She's a main. She's a she can be. You know she can be a main eventer. Don't get me wrong. Like I ain't never saying that. And I'm waiting for her to become that main eventer. I think yesterday was somewhat of her saying to the back like, "Hey, look at me. Well, I should be in this title picture too." You know.
I think that's
But
on purpose too that they've been keeping her away from Bianca because I think when they finally do it, she's going to be the one to beat her.
be the
So
one to beat her. Yes,
Yeah.
bingo.
right,
I said the same thing to my brother. It was like a while ago. I don't think they really want that match until Rhea is actually winning the match,
right,
not Rhea just taking an L to the champion. They don't want that.
Possibly the
So
Rumble or WrestleMania.
sure.
sure,
I could
why
see
not?
one of those. I could see one of
Why
those
not?
two things happening. But like I
I
said,
don't think at Mania though. Do you want the heel to win and be triumphant at Mania?
mm,
And you don't want to really want to against that type of baby face against like Bianca, who's a mega baby face. Like you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah, I
could
want her to
have it
keep her streak together too. Like she 2-0. I want that to be 3-0, bro.
so she could go
yeah,
against
we
somebody
wanted
else
three.
at
We wanted
Mania.
3 P with
I think
Bianca
she could.
winning.
I think she could drop it at the Rumble,
Yeah,
Yeah, possibly,
and whoever
possibly.
interfered could be her WrestleMania opponent.
right.
True. I
So
can see
yeah,
that. Because like I said, the whole match though, because I ended up with what
not
Bianca
good.
hitting the KOD onto Bailey onto the cage,
I thought
and
the finish was cool.
yeah, that finish was cool. I liked the end. Becky doing the big
Was
leg
it that
drop.
cool because it was the ending
The
of the match, y'all?
No, I for real thought it was a cool spot with
No,
Oh,
the
okay.
KOD.
I did like the double leg. I like the leg drop on both Damage Control and
Me
Becky and
Becky.
too.
Bianca
I
was
did.
That was
hitting tag team moves. I'm like, oh, okay.
that was cool. I like the ending.
That,
That was cool.
yeah.
So that's how I look at it. So yeah, hopefully they move. Well, honestly, they really need to move Bianca away from Bailey and them because like this
If
feud
they
is run its course at this point. I'm
right,
kind of sick. Yeah, I'm sick of seeing Bianca, Asuka, and Bliss versus change the channel control, water control, fish control, animal control, birth control, whatever name it is. I just want them away from. Just get them away because I've already stated enough that damage control is just not over in general. So I've stated that enough. But they need to move everybody on to a different feud at this point because it's been going on since like what after SummerSlam.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to do it because right now you can do Rhea. She can run through Mia Yim because you got to do that one-on-one match,
yeah,
and
you got to do
then
that one on one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make it no DQ or something on Raw, and then have her feud with Becky for a little bit to get to Bianca. She beats Bianca, and then that's all on a bow. Wrap it up.
yeah.
yeah, because they gotta fit Becky back in the title picture now.
She's too
I don't
important
think
to
they
not
go
be.
to. But you don't want to. You just don't want to like just thrust her in there. I think she should be the one right now to replace Bianca in that look in a feud like Bryce just said, move everybody else who was already in that feud and put Becky inserted in that feud with Bailey. Because
Sure.
I think because see here's the thing. They really never really ever since Bailey came back, other than that one night at WrestleMania after SummerSlam, that night after SummerSlam, that was the only interaction they really had with each other. So you could take Bianca out, put Bailey in. That could still be a main event feud with them two because it's Bailey and Becky. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have that match.
Yeah.
That's true. So I definitely see that. But like, yeah, this whole match though, overall, it was just a lot of it did not make sense about this match, just from structure or who was involved or just like multiple botches. So this wasn't really the best War Games match. Like I said, the most I liked out of it was the finish. That was the most I liked
I
out of the
think
whole
that's what
match.
everybody's like.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that. So unless I will say one thing, it'd be kind of funny if the people we just said that should have been in this, they just show up on Raw on Monday. Then like, okay, we're here. I'm like, well, why weren't you in the War Games match?
No, that's some Vince shit. That would be stupid.
So if like, hey, Beth's here. Where you been? Oh, Candace here. Or maybe Sasha, but that's like literally a coin flip toss in the air right now.
Ain't no point. Yeah, man, you keep on flipping that coin and keep on losing because she ain't coming
Hey,
back anytime
I already got people keep trying to convince me right now, like she's the biggest Hollywood star. Like I said, maybe she can get there, but like don't sit there and convince me like Sasha's a huge Hollywood star right now. She can get there, but don't sit there and tell me that right now because I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Beth will definitely be back for Rhea at some point. Maybe
soon.
WrestleMania, some
Yeah, yeah.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I don't know about Sasha, but Beth will definitely be back for Rhea.
That's why I told
yeah.
him. I like he keep on
Shit, I
flipping
see
that
Naomi
coin.
coming back first.
You ain't getting nowhere, bro. I don't think Sasha coming back anytime soon.
Or how everybody on the internet wants to say, "Oh, she's going to AEW." I'm like, I don't see that happening.
I don't want that to happen. Unless she's just stopping by for a cup of coffee. I'm not trying to see Sasha get signed and I don't see her wrestle, bro.
If somebody, I remember somebody said, "No, we can get the big match with Paige. It's gonna be, we can get the big legendary rematch."
I mean, that's a easy, ready-made feud. But then what?
Right,
Like,
And what?
right. Then what?
Put the belt on it. Like that's all I know. That's next. Like what's next after that? So like you said, like I don't really see her going over there. So I even said to the point like they show back up when they show back up. They don't. I stopped caring almost like 5 6 months ago. So it's like it is what it is with them. Like it happened, it happened. It don't. So I'm not really on the radar watch and stuff. So we'll see. But next, we move on into. I know they went to Roman Reigns talking to Jey Uso in the back. I guess about Sammy, can he be trusted? And I guess they would. Reigns was telling him like, I give the orders here, and I'm gonna look him in the eye, and we'll see where his loyalty is. So I guess they were gonna get him in the office soon enough. But next, we got Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. Bullet Club leaders. I like both they mask. Um, I like Balor's mask. It looks like a Red Hood mask for some reason.
yeah, but
Um,
black, yeah, I see that.
this
Hmm.
is a very good match. But then again, like you said earlier, what a missed opportunity when they could have just done the 8 versus 8, and I mean 4 8-person tag and stuff. They could have just done it there. This was the perfect time to do a Survivor Series
and
style match. You
and
had the players.
if you wanted that one on one, eliminate everybody else. By the time the elimination happens, it's gonna be face to face. There'll be one on one, leaders against leaders, and you can see who wins, who gonna be the sole survivor. Bingo, we
And
got
if they
it.
wanted me and Rhea in the War Games, you could have just did 3-on-3. Like it
Yeah,
don't
they could
make
have
no
done that
Right.
too. We
sense.
could have did a 6-man.
They could have get it to the 6 man, but nah, they were so hell bent to have this one on one for some unknown reason. Well, we got the one on one. I said it wasn't bad. It was like Bryce said, it was a good match. But all that time, I was just thinking to myself, man, it could have been a lot different.
This match could have been on Raw and went this long, and it still, would have been a good match. But when you think of it, the purpose of all this, like, who was really gaining an advantage here other than just, the
it could have.
further rivalry of who gets a win?
I like that point that you said too. This match could have been on Raw. It actually could have been your go home Raw. To be honest with you, you could have had a 6 man at the
And could have did the tag
survivorship.
match here because everybody else was just out there, just standing around basically. Because
And they ain't
what
saying
Good Brothers
around,
out
boy.
there? Well, not much, but like at the
Uh-huh.
time being, they were. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. Like at the time being, 'cause you got the Good Brothers there, you got Priest, you got Dominic and stuff. That's if he's not going to Ray's house to jump him, and everything, you could have just did a tag match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is all I'm gonna really say on this match. AJ Styles is probably my third favorite wrestler of all time behind Shawn Michaels and RVD. But this WWE run that he's on right now with these big pay-per-view matches, man, my dude doesn't wrestle with any kind of urgency anymore, and
No
I don't
type of
really know
energy.
why.
Yeah,
And I mean all his matches like this just
can't get out of second
drag,
gear,
and like
can't get out of first gear.
my man, I don't get it, bro, because he still moves around like he always has, but he wrestles his matches so differently now. And I get it, he's older, but you can still do the moves. So it's just like why the pace of all these AJ Styles matches so slow, bro? Like why are we having a Finn Balor AJ match where we got 10 minutes of him working the leg? And I'm like, what is this, Randy Orton? What are we doing,
And
bro?
I was just about to bring that person up.
That's a
Steven,
good
you just
point.
you must have been in my head or something because I was just about to bring that name up.
Yep.
I'm saying, bro.
It kind of remind me of how Randy would coast. He would just coast. Oh, I can do this. I'm good enough anyway. I can coast, and it could be
Nobody won't
a
notice.
nobody will notice. It'll be a 2 out of 5 star match. Who gives a damn? That's how he think it in his head, and that's how AJ think it. I bet that's how he think it because, like Steven just said, we could name the matches that came along WrestleMania against Edge. It wasn't good. I mean, I wouldn't say it wasn't good. It was just not AJ Styles versus Edge. You
It
couldn't.
never got a
That's the
first gear.
thing, bro.
It,
That's what I'm
it never it
saying.
never got a first gear. It just never left first gear.
It's like it's never
Uh,
bad. It's just
it never bad, right? You know
Where's
this
that big
these two.
pay-per-view match?
You know these two can do better. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad match, but you just know these two can do a lot better than what they do
and I'm
doing.
tired of saying that about AJ Styles matches. I'm like, well, yeah, that was all right, but I know they got a better
Okay.
match in them. And it shouldn't be at the point where every time AJ has a match, I'm looking forward to the third match as opposed to the first one.
I I wasn't
Yeah.
like that until the second calf crusher. I thought the second calf crusher should have ended it because here's the thing: I just messed up your leg. You just came off and tried to do a coup de grace, and you just landed on your leg. I don't know what else I need to do. Do I need a sledgehammer to come in and break your knees, then put you
And
in
he was bending it.
a
He was
calf
bending
crusher?
his leg.
Right, exactly. Like, what do I gotta do? What do
And
I got? I gotta do.
His
I
leg.
gotta
Like he was bending
take a
that shit.
bet.
he beat him with the forearm, bro. I was like, wait, so we just spent 20 minutes working the leg
Minute
for you to beat him with
leg
the forearm anyway?
before,
Like,
like,
What with the
come,
forearm?
you working this man leg throughout the whole match, and you gonna tell me that the leg? I mean, you couldn't get him to tap out at all. Like that was just so weird to me. I'm like, okay, all right. AJ Styles win. I don't know what to do with this feud after this. To be honest with you, do we still have that big 8-man tag? Do we still have it soon or anywhere in the near future?
I mean, I don't really know
What is
why,
it?
because he beat him
Right,
straight
right.
up.
He beat
Yeah,
him
they
straight
could have
up.
done it here. This was the perfect opportunity to do it here.
No, but since it didn't happen, I'm talking about like, what do we do after this? Like, do we still have it, or do we just move on, or what?
It'll continue, but it doesn't make any sense for it to continue.
Like,
Continue. There
where
we
is this
go.
going now? Like, okay, AJ beat him, so now what?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
we're gonna see it again Monday, and it's probably gonna be another. Maybe it's a tag match. Maybe it's just another one-on-one, or I don't know. They just put what Gallows against Priest next on Raw, or Anderson and Dominic. I guess so. I don't even know where it's going, but yeah, it was just a good match, but in a way, it kind of lacked purpose to some extent.
I just
And
thought it was boring, man. Like the
yeah,
action was good, but it just never got like their TLC match was way better than this, man. Like
You
agreed.
talking about
leaps and bounds.
2017? You talking about
Yeah, when they weren't
2017?
even
Yeah,
supposed to be
that
Yeah.
was
wrestling
great.
each other.
He said when they wasn't supposed to, right? When they didn't have no preparation. All you told them to do was, hey, go out there and wrestle. Okay. And they went out there and had a banger. Then you had them have
Well,
weeks of preparation with each other, and now they couldn't even pull out a banger. Like, hold on, what just happened here? Do y'all just need to do stuff on the fly? I think that's what it is. I think y'all need to do stuff on the fly or something because man, this match wasn't it either.
It just wasn't it. It just like it was good, but it was
yeah,
kind
because
of
And the
that's
next
why I
match,
said I'm real curious, bro.
oh no, you got the opinion that you were not looking for. I mean, whatever you were looking for, you got it right here, Steven, because you were curious about it. And I told you at the beginning before we started, I like you going to get my opinions about this. And it wasn't like I was enthusiastic or it wasn't like, oh my God, this Survivor Series, my goodness, it knocked my socks off. No, my socks stayed on.
Yeah, and commentary was just trying to make the biggest deal as they could out
I
of it.
mean,
Like they mentioned Bullet Club. They mentioned Bullet Club.
hey, bro, look,
That was the
that's their
craziest
job.
part.
That's that's their job. It
And
wasn't like they were doing their job
JPW
badly.
was
I
paying
ain't
them
gonna
off.
lie. I think they were doing their job very good to try to get us interested, but it wasn't. It just you couldn't do it. I'm sorry, you just couldn't.
It didn't work. And if they're gonna explain that, why don't we explain Carl Anderson still holding that title hostage and still hasn't yet to drop it, or New Japan won't take it from him for some reason. They need to address that also. But
I don't think they
like you
need to
said,
address that. Well, why do you need to address that?
They'll
they just
probably
need to
drop it at
take the
Wrestle
fucking
Kingdom.
But it's
yeah,
not. It's not. I
okay,
don't
Wrestle
think you
Kingdom.
need to address that. I think New Japan needs to address it. I don't think it's any WWE business.
It's looked fucking stupid.
I mean, it does, but it's New Japan problem, not WWE problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
just
he
think
doesn't
it's
even come
funny.
out with the belt,
I
so
just think I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny. Well, yeah, he ain't came out with the belt or anything, but I just think it's
Right.
got. That's my thing about it.
Then you
Nope.
cut out, bro.
Well,
I ain't catch none of what you
yeah, that
said.
you ain't got to catch
No,
nothing.
I know. I said I think it's kind of funny. He's just still holding the belt, though. So I just think it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, because they didn't cross that bridge when he was getting signed. Like y'all should have already took that off
I
of him.
already took that offer, right? It wasn't like I don't think he did anything professional, like to the point that hey, not tell them that he was going to sign with WWE. Like I bet he told them and laid it down for him, like, yeah, I'm going back to the state. I'm going back to the WWE. So what we gonna do? If they didn't address that, that's on them.
I just
They
think it
probably
was
thought it'd be good press that one of
Yeah, they
their
don't.
champions
yeah
was on WWE, you know?
yeah
WWE
because
didn't.
I they didn't even address it. I just thought like I'm like wait a minute, didn't NJPW book him for this show? Like I said, the show they had and the Saudi Arabia thing was booked on the same day. So I'm like I knew he wasn't going to show up to New Japan, and then I saw what they did, and they just came up with some excuse like, okay, if he doesn't show up, we'll take the belt. They never did. They put a whole
I mean,
statement out for that.
yeah, I
I mean,
understand.
it's the open weight championship though. It's not even
Yeah,
like
it ain't no
you
big belt
know.
or anything.
It's
It's
really
not like
not
it
a
was a.
big deal.
It ain't that big of a deal. I just kind of wondered if they were just gonna take it back. So I just thought it's kind of funny at the same time. No, but yeah, like I said, this feud continues. Or now I don't think they about to pull Ray to Raw
Can I
again.
ask the question? Can I ask the question? It's serious too.
Go ahead.
Do we got to talk about the next match?
Not very long.
Uh,
Dang,
I'm
we
be
got to.
honest.
I know we
This
got to.
won't
It's a
be
part
long.
of the review. It's a
It
part of the review,
won't
and we
be
got to
long.
be
Because
right. We
like
got to be professionals about it. You know what I'm saying? We got to be cool about this. I guess we got to
Ronda,
I
talk
mean, we ain't
about it.
gotta be
Just,
professionals. Like,
yeah, we don't got to. We can go
look, I
on
mean,
this.
okay, give it a couple of minutes then.
Yeah, let me just say this. Ronda, Shotzi, this match could have been on SmackDown, okay? Me and Steven talked about this weeks ago. We talked about this weeks ago when she won
Man,
this six
SmackDown made a
scramble
bit.
thing. Okay, this didn't feel like a big match for Survivor Series. You could have put this on TV on SmackDown, okay? I
Made
didn't
a
care
bit.
about this match. I watched this match. I halfway paid attention. It wasn't really good. Most of the
This
time,
was
Shayna Baszler was involved. Ronda won.
this
Woo,
was one of the
whatever.
This is one of the matches I have to go back to go back to watch. I
yeah.
did. This is
I'm
one of the matches. And you know what my head, you know what my brain was telling me
felt
once I
like it
was
went
watching,
long.
but my brain was telling me when I was done with the match. Did we really have to go back to see that match? And I said, nah, I don't think so. I knew I missed chunks of part of this match, and I knew we were going to review it, so I didn't want to, have no type of knowledge of this match. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went back to watch it. But once I went back to watch it, I could have erased all that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Out of my head. Because here's the thing: the feud was so one sided. it was ridiculous. It wasn't like we had any type of thought in our head that Shotzi was going to win. And the feud basically told us like, if you even think that Shotzi going to win, you are dumb. That's what basically the whole feud was. She was getting whooped the whole feud. Oh my goodness, she was getting whooped the whole feud.
You know, maybe what they could have done was have her and Raquel team up against Ronda and Shayna on this show, and if they won, then she'd get a title match or something like that on SmackDown.
A SmackDown,
Because
bingo.
Yeah.
at no point did I ever feel like Ronda was in trouble, and even though I love Shotzi, I'm gonna just put that out
I
on
do
Front Street
too.
that I love
I
Shotzi.
do too. I do
But
The
at
too.
no
tank.
point did I ever think that Ronda selling for Shotzi looked good.
Good. There we go. I thought
Yeah.
the same thing. I'm like, she trying. Because I know Ronda tries out there, and because she even put it out there in statements that, you know, is that she wants to put these women over because she knows how the fans perceive her matches with the other women. You know what I'm saying? Which I agree with her. You know what
I
I'm saying? That
respect
yeah,
that. There's still
that
levels to this, Ronda.
you're right. It's still
There's
level
still
to
some
this
levels.
run.
Yeah, he's right. There's some levels.
I man, when Becky come in there, she smack you around. I'm looking like, yeah, Becky is smacking her around. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know,
Yep.
when I see Dana Brooke go in there with you and she smacking you around, I'm like, huh? What
Exactly.
Agreed.
is
Agreed.
That's all.
like?
I mean, that's at the end of the day. That's all I really gotta say about the match. I like Shotzi. I like Ronda, but this should have just never really been a thing. Like,
Yeah, it should have never been a thing. It shouldn't. I think it was only a thing because they figured like, okay, one of our women champions is going to be in a war game, man. Should we have a women championship match on at Survivor Series?
I mean,
And you know,
Shotzi crazy. They could have just put Shotzi in War Games. Like,
That would have made more sense. That actually would have made more sense.
gave Ronda
yeah,
somebody else, man. I don't know, man. This just wasn't
I
it. Times three.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It
I
wasn't
just I
right.
didn't
It wasn't in time three.
it just wasn't
So
it. I wasn't really a fan of it. I was halfway watching it because it's like Steven said, there was really no ever, fear of mine that Ronda was ever gonna lose. And then again, they had Shayna Baszler involved several times. So it's like, who really thought Ronda was gonna lose here? Like I said, this match could have been on SmackDown and it could have called
yeah,
it a day. This did not need to be on pay-per-view, and this was like, I even if I want to call this a cool down match, this was like a match nobody cared for.
See, the match before this felt like a cool down
that
match.
match,
And
right?
that yeah,
I feel like that's why they
and that went on
purposely
for nearly
wrestled it
20 minutes.
slow.
That
But
nearly went on for 20 minutes.
that match never
Eh,
picked up enough to not, to get us back into it. So when this match
yeah,
came on, I was
came
just sitting there
along
like,
right. I was already thinking about dinner at that time. Like, okay, what's the fix now? You know, that because now my whole spirit is out of it now, man. I had the spirit of war games and couldn't wait for it before the night, and now we get three matches in. And I'm over here thinking like, dang, man, this is not what I was expecting, man. Real talk.
at
Right?
all.
Yeah, it was kind of whatever. So it just kind of one of those things that kind of came and went by. It's like you could have just been looking at your phone. You would have really not missed much out of this match.
Now, see,
And
it came and went by, but it also went long. So I don't know what we were doing in this match, bro.
I
This
was
joke went
walking
over 10 minutes. What are we doing, bro?
It actually
right.
was
My
10 minutes apparently.
most of the 10 minutes I was doing was in and out the room, constantly talking to everybody else, coming back in, little checking on it, and then it's still on, and then walking right back out the room.
Yeah, I was eating something, so it was kind of yeah. I was doing something else, so I was like whatever and whatnot. Like I was even looking at Twitter. Somebody said, they ought to just play the Rey Mysterio Dominic Thanksgiving thing. That probably would have been a little bit more interesting again.
Possibly it would.
Let me ask y'all this,
So,
man. What do y'all think is the end game for this Shayna Ronda thing? Because if the point of that is to get to a feud, then we should have been building that before, and we could have did the match now as opposed to what we got.
well, I can't say what was WWE because they so confusing right now. They confusing the shit out of me, bro. So I really don't know what they doing with it. But if you ask me personally, what would I want out of this situation? I would want I would want them to at least put the tag belts on a different level. I would want them two to do it.
See, I'd agree, but we're gonna be in a worse boat because who in the tag division can fight them?
Yeah, that's
Well,
the yeah.
yeah,
Who's gonna
yeah.
beat them?
Here's the thing. We still got a weak link out of the two. Yeah, Shayna can, Shayna, is a fighter too. But you can, I think you can. I Here's the thing. I try, my bad. Try to put it all in a sense of structure. With Shayna, she already had that mystique lost a little bit. They try to gain it back, but she got it. She don't have the same mystique as Ronda. So I think she the weaker link, and you can exploit that with somebody. Let's
That's
just
fair enough.
say, let's just say Raquel Rodriguez go and get Raquel Rodriguez picking have a partner. They looking like Shotzi. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And Raquel is in that matchup with Shayna. You could believe Raquel could beat Shayna. So you can use that as a weak link. But if like you said, it's not too many women. So they can run through the tag, whatever tag division they make up on the fly, whatever they do. But once they get to a suitable opponent like Raquel, you know, then they could probably drop the belt then. But but like Steven just said, what's the end game? What is it? Like,
Yeah,
if
where's
we
this
gonna
gonna
have a
go?
feud with them two, the feud ain't even happening anytime soon because they seem like they too tight right now. There are no loopholes. There's nobody looking at each other funny. There's nobody like, all like hanging out with you. They too tight right now. So it ain't happening anytime soon. When is it?
That's true. Like I said, it's not anytime soon. So it's like we know they're gonna be teaming up for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, where's it really gonna go? So it's a good question there. But yeah, moving on from this match though, we got another segment with Roman Reigns talking to Sami Zayn, asking him about Kevin Owens and if he's aligned with the bloodline and whatnot. Swear allegiance to him, and Reigns giving him a hug and just looking stone faced. Like almost like yeah, I'm gonna betray him soon. Almost like all right, he's like yeah, let's do it. Hug them, and you just see him like with a blank stare on the other side of the camera.
Man, this
it's the best thing in
storyline
wrestling,
here.
bro.
I was about to
Yeah,
just
probably
about
the
to say
best
that.
feud going on in
My
general.
goodness. My goodness, this storyline here, man. Because there's so many loops thing that about to happen, but they can take another loop because of that the segment that Sami Zayn had with Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens like, man, I'll strike first. That's another loop. We might get we looking at the foregone conclusion loop like, oh man, they gonna turn their back on Sami Zayn. We probably not. We gonna probably overlook that loop right there.
Well, Sammy will
That
take
he
him out
might
first.
incite, Sammy taking them out one by one. It's like we got man. This storyline is beautiful. Whoever making this storyline is give them a round of applause, give them a hand. For
It's
real,
been
this is
going on for months.
It's
So
probably
yeah,
been
man.
mostly Paul Heyman, man, because this was going on
Paul
while
Heyman.
Vince was still there. So
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
So
probably just
Paul
them.
Heyman.
Vince or
And
Paul, one of the two.
Paul Heyman is that man, Joe. I swear, that man mind is something else. I wish I could book like him or like have the wrestling savant like he did. But here's the thing though, he been in the game for over 40 years. So of course you cannot catch up with him in, in a short period of time. So
There you go.
man, it, Paul Heyman, man.
There you go.
So
Uh, but what I'm gonna say. Next though, we got a triple threat match for the U.S. title: Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory.
I
Personally, I
forgot
thought this was
about
the
this
best.
match.
I thought this was the best match of the night.
I
No,
agree.
I said no. I said I forgot about it before the match happened. It was one of those matches that I like. Oh my goodness, I forgot they had a triple threat match for the United States title. All right, cool. Sit down and watch it. And I sat down and watched it. Like you said, it was whoa. This match right here. This match right here was a good one. And and for a match that I actually forgot, it ended up being one of my favorites. So I like, man, okay then.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought this was my favorite match of the night. I don't really know what purpose it serves to give Austin 3 the belt now when you could have just had him cash in and win,
Yeah,
but
that
the
like
match
what was
itself was good.
hell of a match. Definitely hell of a match, but yeah, that it does kind of look dumb. It's like so he wins it here, but you wasted money in the bank and he couldn't win there, but he'll win it in this triple threat match though. I'm like,
And it was only 2 weeks ago.
yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, this it's not like it was a month ago. This just happened. Like that don't make any sense. Like I already said it before. They wasted the money in the bank, and
Oh yeah,
I
most
guess they
definitely.
I guess they try to make it look like, okay, people, we didn't bury him, so we're gonna give him the U.S. title now. After you just made the whole thing made him look like shit. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Theory, but that just looked fucking stupid a couple weeks ago, and I still stand by that. But I just think it's funny when everybody tries to say, "Oh, you gotta see the bigger picture." Oh no, he's the guy now. He's gonna become the guy. Like really? Like seriously? Like
I
oh,
mean, looking at it now, are we looking at it now?
they giving him
Did
an
we miss
edge. They
it?
gave him an edge. I'm not saying
I'm
like
talking about
they're doing nothing.
last night too. They gave him the belt. That's what I was saying. Like, like I don't agree with those people, but could say they could be on to something if that's what they want to do. If that's what WWE want to do, because yes, it was dumb that for the fumble cash in and then get him the belt like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, and
But
I just
what?
yeah,
So what's the end game for WWE? Do they
that's
want to make him the guy?
and that's true because it's like you look at him winning the U.S. title, which obviously they're gonna keep him in the mid card right now still and whatnot. But it's like we said a couple weeks ago. I think it's fucking the card championship and not the world title. Yes, we can sit here and say we knew he wasn't going to be Roman and all that other stuff and whatnot, but it does look dumb when you're like, hey, I can't beat him. I'm going to settle for less and go for the U.S. title. And we saw how many shenanigans was in that whole thing from being an open challenge to going against a 50% Seth Rollins at that point in time. And with him losing, but then it's like 2 weeks later now, it's like, okay, he's at the US title. Then it's like, what was the point of wasting money in the bank then? That was fucking retarded.
And can I say this one thing? I think a lot
Go
of
ahead.
us would. I think a lot of us forget that it's the same company. Don't get me wrong; it's under the same banner of WWE. But it was literally this year, literally, what you could say it was a tale of two halves. The first half was one regime, and the next half was one regime. Like it was stupid for Vince to even think that this guy was the one, But that's Vince. You know how bullheaded he is. He could go through the wall, even though the wall is metal. He gonna still try to go through it. And that's what it was with Austin Theory. Like he was trying to make us like feel this guy. I think it was working somewhat a little bit. The fans were booing the shit out of him. I think it was working a little bit. Then all of a sudden, it just turned. The whole company turned. It ain't even the Austin Theory company no more. See, at first it was. It was all about looks. How you look out there. You look jacked up. You look good. You look marketable. Now it's a company that yeah, you could look good, but you ain't gonna be pushing if you not good. Yeah. I ain't saying Austin Theory is bad. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Please don't think that. I'm not saying Austin Theory is bad in the ring. Now I really think he's very sharp and very good in the ring. It's just something about him. Just don't scream main eventer. It just don't.
It for sure don't, man. And that's been my thing about him the whole time. Because I mean, you've seen the John Cena comparisons and everything, and it's like people say that, but John Cena didn't get to that level until he stopped looking like Austin Theory.
There we
Like,
Yeah,
go.
that's true.
Austin Theory hasn't found that thing to make him that yet. And for people to be pushing this on him, I'm not really a fan either, but I don't think it's really fair for people to be pushing that on him when he hasn't done anything in terms of character work. Because I mean, he's a good wrestler, yeah, but so what? Everybody's a good wrestler now.
Good wrestler, right?
Yeah.
It's just
And
like
you
why is this guy the one that they're looking at other than he just looks like prototypical wrestler guy? It's just like
that's what I would get it at. Steve, you just hit it right on the money. That's what I would get it at. With the first, what I was talking about Vince regime. Yeah, Vince saw a look and said, "Hey, we gotta put this man. We gotta scrap a rocket on him. He gonna be my protege. He gonna be seen on TV with me." And that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that was a big deal. Vince before then wasn't even on TV like that. Then all of a sudden he on TV every week, every week with this guy.
the seal of
You know what I'm
approval.
saying? What you say?
The seal of approval.
Right,
Yep.
the
Like
CEO
you
of
already
Food,
knew he was a made man. He was a made
he was the
man.
main man. There we go. But once the person who was made you a main man is gone, though, there's no protection. He ain't got no protection over you. Oh, what this man gonna do now? Now he gotta develop characters, which he wasn't developing at that time when he was becoming a main man. You know, he constantly looking like a goofy, which probably he would not look like if the person who made him a main man was still there. You know,
Because then, like,
it's just
I was
what
going to chime in real quick. I said kind of like after that, this guy was taking hella L's not that long ago.
huh. Remember the person who when Vince was there, he wasn't taking that many L's. He wasn't even taking L's at all. He was barely even wrestling. He had just come out and cut a promo. You know, and remember that little feud that he had for the United States Championship? He didn't even wrestle until the match. Like
He got
I
opposed
remember
that.
these times. I remember those times that he did wrestle. He just come out, have the crowd boo me, and
It's
that was
just
it.
interesting, man, how many people Vince just gave up on immediately, like your Keith Lees and your Crosses, but he kept trying with Austin Theory. People forget this man came up tag teaming with Andrade and Zelina. Then they
Yep,
moved him on to the Seth Rollins disciple thing.
yep.
Then that didn't work either, so they took him to NXT.
NXT
Then they brought him back, and he started doing. I'm
away.
like, we gonna keep trying with this dude until we get it. But I'm like, what
'Cause
what is it about this dude that you
I,
gotta keep
You would say the
trying,
same.
bro?
that's a good point. Because honestly, when he was there in NXT to begin with, before they started moving him, I thought he was just like a creator wrestler guy. He had literally the same look of a creator wrestler
Bro, I
on
said that because he had
anything.
the name on his tights and everything, bro. Like the little generic blue tights. I'm like, who is this dude, bro?
And
Oh,
Why?
he's from
one
Evolve.
thing, one thing
I
about
swear, bro.
one thing though, I will say though, with Austin Theory though, it kind of reminded me of how they kept on trying with Roman. They got it right now. 2 years ago, they started to get it right.
At
But
least for
do we
Roman,
remember?
he had a unique look to him though. Like he didn't just look like the
Right, though.
He
Typical.
prototype.
looked like
Right,
something.
right. Hey, would you? Hey, that's a double entendre. How you use that prototype because we were
You
just
feel
saying
me?
how
You
he
seen
looked
it?
like. Right, you was just we were just saying how he looked so much like John Cena back in the day.
The
And
prototype.
I like
The
that. I like
prototype.
that
OVW.
You
because
caught
there
that.
we go. Your typical prototype guy. This is him. Like Bryce just said, you go to a creative wrestler. What the first thing they give you? Him.
There you go. There you go. He created a wrestler. That's what he basically was the whole time until they start throwing him in all these different factions and gimmicks and stuff. And then, they somewhat finally had something going once they put him on the main roster with Vince and him. I'm like, okay, maybe it's going somewhere now. It was really going somewhere. even though I wasn't the biggest fan of all the decisions, but it was going somewhere because before they were just throwing this guy in like any type of group. It's like, okay, you're gonna go with this guy. Okay, you're gonna move this group on Raw. Okay, you're gonna go to NXT with Gargano in them, the way, and then they just had the whole selfie thing. But then like it's like we talked about Cena earlier. It's like, yeah, this guy needs to be facing John Cena at SummerSlam. I said, why? Like, nah, this guy could be the next. He's the next Cena. I'm like, how? I'm trying to see where's all the comparison. Like, I see some, but it's like that's really asking for a
Uh,
lot to say he's like almost on like trying to be the next Cena.
I don't see some.
I don't
I
see it
swear I
at
don't
all.
even see some. I don't see
Because
it.
people keep, yeah,
See it
everybody
at
keep trying to
all.
throw. I keep having people point out like, now you gotta understand, man. There's points to where he's like Cena and his career and stuff. Like, you gotta see how this and that happened. I'm sorry, was Cena? Did Cena get Money in the Bank that early? I said no, no,
Man, hold
no.
on, time out. Cena didn't even get the type of push he getting right now.
Yeah, he
When
was
Cena
pushed
was,
to the moon. Like, Cena was had a regular gimmick before he started, rapping and
they were
everything.
That Halloween
they were
episode of
about to,
SmackDown, bro.
they were about
Until he
to,
started
they were
dropping
about.
bars.
There we go. And Bryce just took it right out of my mouth. Bryce hit it right on the money. What I was just about to say, they were just about to release this nigga at first. Before, like Bryce said, before he started spitting bars. And then all of a sudden, oh, wait a second, time out. Because even though Austin Theory can be a wet piece of toast for the most of his career so far, they haven't even thought about releasing him. They haven't been a thought in their head to release Austin Theory.
They gonna keep trying, bro. That's what
They
I
gonna keep.
don't get it,
They
man.
they they won't give up on him.
And to
They
wrap
will
it
not.
all up, I'm just going to just like to bring it back to the match itself. I just don't
Yeah, my bad.
understand why. Like I said, if the goal was you're going to give him the belt anyway, you could have just
Mhm.
had him cash in on Seth and do it. Like Seth and him could have had this back and forth thing earlier in the night or whatever for him to skip the whole explanation of, well, I can't cash in on Roman. Skip all of that. Just have him want to beat Seth because he hates Seth for whatever reason, and just
Right.
cash in. This could have, and you could have even still done Bobby attacks him to give him the win, so it still
Mm.
leads to the triple threat tonight. But have him go into it defending it as opposed to, and so when he gets the sneaky win at the end, it's like, oh, he escaped with the belt again because of
He
the
escaped
Lashley
with the
spear and all
win.
that. Like
Yep.
it cannot be this hard to book this shit. I'm sorry. Like, it can't be.
I I really like what Steven just said. Everything he just said, especially that last part. Oh, so we booking a champion. Oh, he sneaks away with the win. Wow, what a champion! Give him 2 thumbs up for real. Like, come on now, people. It ain't that hard. Like, like Steven just said, it ain't that hard,
And
people.
and I want to add one more thing to it. I know me and Steven talked about this last night about this match. It's kind of funny. Lashley's out here damn near slapping hands with everybody, and he's almost like he's been doing almost heel like shit. And Austin Theory coming out to a Beyblade entrance.
See, I don't even know
Yeah,
who we were supposed to root for in this match because
right.
you had the out to make Seth the baby face in this match if Austin Theory cashed in after Lashley attacked him. But then Rollins is still not a baby face because he's coming out still doing his goofy shit. He's calling out Cody in promos.
Yep.
It's like, okay, so all three of these guys are heel, but I guess we're rooting for Seth. Like, what?
Right. I never understood
Because
who we were
that's what
supposed to
got
root
me.
for.
Like, it looked like they were trying to get him face, but then he, like you say, he's taking shots at Cody Rhodes again. I'm like, so he's still healed in, right? Like where I was a little confused by that at a second because like I get he's doing the whole Cesar Romero Joker thing right now, but I thought he was turning face at one point, but I guess not. So it's like who do you root for here?
The Beyblade bit was funny though.
Yeah, it was. It was because I was so confused. Man, Steven, you should have just been a fly on the wall in my room with that was going on. I swear to you, you would have been busted up laughing because I'm over here looking. I'm confused. I'm looking like, oh man, yeah. Sammy Guevara got a little cartoon for his thing. He probably did that just like Sammy.
I
Hold
thought it
on.
was a glitch. With
No,
it.
no, I swear, the whole time I'm over here thinking different thoughts. Yeah, I went into another thought, like, hold on, man, there's no picture of him.
Like, did they
Why ain't no
accidentally
picture
run
of
an
him?
ad on his truck?
And
Yeah.
then they when they cut to the ad part, and my brother looked at me, he like, man, they really use his interest as an ad. I'm like, this man was a
Hilarious.
walking, talking commercial.
And then they gave him the belt. Like, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah, what? Promote Beyblade. We'll give you the title. Promote Beyblade. Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Crazy.
man.
It's fucking
Ah,
wild. Wild, I tells you. But next we finally reached the main event. War games once again.
War
Once again.
games.
War games. That sounds better. Uh, yeah, see, you see how I did that. But yeah, we had the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre, the Brawling Brutes, and Kevin Owens. I got the Dusty Road shirt out there, by the way,
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
that was cool. And because who was the first two to start this? Jay Uso
Pete.
and
Butch.
Pete Dunne.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
This match, it was better than the War Games we saw early in the night. But that drag on thing, plays in once again.
I was about to say it was wrestled better,
It was
but
Yeah, it
better.
was. It was.
the
And
first
here's the
two
thing.
thirds of this match, bro, I felt the exact same way.
We
Right,
got
right.
Rich Holland and Pete Dunne out there.
Who are
And
not
see
over.
here, there we go. And see, and I thought I was going to be the person that was going to say it first, but you took it right out of my mouth. See, Pete can be better. Pete is better off by himself. To be honest with you, I love Sheamus.
Facts.
I do, I do. But if he
Facts.
got to be weighed down by the anchor that called Ridge Holland, I'm sorry. He should not be that. He should not have that burden on his shoulder to try to get Ridge Holland over. Ridge is not gonna ever get over. It's real talk. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
See, you say that, and I completely agree. And that's kind of my biggest problem with Triple H running Raw and SmackDown. Everything that I thought we were going to get with Triple H, we have not gotten. We didn't get a rebooted Oscar. We didn't get a rebooted Nakamura. This nigga's still Butch over here riding with them. Like,
Yeah,
what happened to
yeah.
all this shit I thought we was going to get with Triple H in charge, bro?
And here's here's the thing. Like that, I'm looking at with the same thing you looking at, but I'm thinking to myself like I'm thinking like I don't think he want to retcon a lot of things. Yeah, I think he still got that. That's his father-in-law. You know what I'm saying? That's my father-in-law thing in him. Like I don't want to come in here just wreck the shop like with a go in here with a sledgehammer and like bam. All right, enough with this gimmick. Enough with this gimmick. Enough with this gimmick. We just gonna go right back. It's like it's kind of difficult. But at the same time, like I I think Bush could go. You know what I'm saying? He not go, but he can not be in that group because I think he'll be more over without them. Like
I
Sheamus,
agree.
he don't need Sheamus. You know what I'm saying? Rich Hollis needs Sheamus. You know what I'm saying? That's who
Yeah.
needs him. You know, in, in turn, the reason why they not over because Ridge is not over, and which makes both of them not good. I ain't saying not good, but not over. It's like, yeah, I'm with you on that.
And that was for
It,
real my biggest issue with the match, man. Because, like we said earlier, and I did say this to Bryce yesterday, the bloodline being the best thing in wrestling right now means that everything else they're involved with has to be on their level, or you can
yes,
just see how
Yep.
not over it is.
a
So, for the
big
first two
goal.
thirds of this match, when we're waiting for the bloodline stuff to kick in, and Ridge and Butch are in there just doing what they're doing. It's like, yeah, nobody cares about this, man. We want to see where this Sammy thing is going. Like,
Yeah,
And
once
see,
Sammy came out, everybody started chanting for Sammy. Sammy Uso. Then you heard that chant the minute he started running to the ring.
that always with those type of things like even with the if you have a 5-on-5 elimination match, remember those matches back in the day when it was good, and you had your top guys, then you had your mid carders, I mean your tag team, then you had your mid carders that you looking at like, yeah, they could possibly make it to the main event card. We don't know yet, but we're gonna see what they are right now, how they look. And when those guys said it next to one of the most over acts at that time, it'd be like, oh man, this don't look too good. We should never had him standing next to one of the most over acts. And he probably would have been looking better if he would have been by himself instead of standing next to one of the most over acts. Everybody looking at him, not the guy we try to, like a prospect. We look at it as a prospect. And that's how it is with Rich Holland and Bush. They were looking like guys who what did even belong. Like everybody else looked like they would belong.
Yeah, I wonder if this
Everybody
would
else,
Yeah,
have.
that's true.
I wonder if this would have
everybody,
gone better if it was the New Day in there and not Ridge and Butch.
yeah.
Yeah, it
I
probably would look
I
different.
agree.
Yeah,
Hey, because we also got another. We added on another WWE former WWE champion in that mix. You get what I'm saying? So I would most definitely a little bit better. Yeah.
because everybody else came off like bigger stars than Rich Holland and Pete Dunne out there. Even Solo, who hasn't been on there that long, motherfuckers like Solo, and just he's part of
Yep.
the bloodline in general.
Yep. I agree with you on that one, right? Yeah, people like Solo. And I love Solo back in NXT. So I really do like Solo. So that's I don't think he really get hurt by you know being overshadowed. I don't think he overshadowed. When the camera is on him, we kind of focus on Solo. Even when he was just standing there staring at them at the beginning of War Games when
Right,
they
the
were still in the
entrances.
cage.
Yeah,
I was looking at him. I wasn't looking at nobody else. I was looking at him. I told my brother, I'm like, look at this nigga. He just looking at them. I'm like, man, I was looking at him because he is such an imposing character. You know who he remind me of? He remind me of one of his family members. It's just except for the war paint, Umaga.
Yeah, I was thinking that when he was
I can
doing
see that.
the when he was in the corner about to do the the what the hip attack on Kevin
Uh
Owens. I was like, yeah,
Yep,
I see that.
definitely, definitely comparable right there. That I definitely agree upon because, like I say, he's got like a special presence and whatnot to him. Like he's the guy you gotta be looking for, and they have kind of protect them in a lot of matches also because they do be giving them wins, a lot of wins right now and whatnot within the bloodline. So
right.
like they keep him still at a high level, not close to Roman, but at a good level right now and whatnot. Like the Usos are the Usos, and Sammy is Sammy out there and whatnot. Because of course, even also in this match, of course we get more tension between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, and you see Jimmy try to be peacemaker out there. Yo, calm down and stuff because we see them getting ready to argue.
Yeah, this was the first time we saw Sammy give Jay his shit back. I was
Yeah,
very happy to see that. He
that was
shoved him. He
very
was like, bro,
Man, we in middle of war games, fam.
You want to do this now?
Sammy had
Trying to
all
win
right
here.
to though. At that part of the match, if you think about in the back structure, like kayfabe and everything, like it, Sammy had all right to push that man back. Like, man, are you stupid right now? Are you done? We at war. So
See, that's what I'm
that was a
saying,
good
man. Like
storyline.
all of
Yeah.
that stuff made this match good. It's just the non-bloodline story stuff, like just the moves, the like I didn't care about nothing in this match except the dynamic between the bloodline. When Drew came out, when Sheamus came out, I'm just like, whatever, man. Let's
All
get to the
right.
meat and potatoes, as they say, you
Do
know?
y'all
Yeah.
thing. Let's get Roman out there. Let's redo the whole. Okay, y'all five stand on this side. Y'all five stand on that side. Everybody brawls and just starts finisher,
Nah, I'll
finisher.
just nah. I think Steven was saying all the stuff that was involving Sami Zayn
Oh
and the
yeah,
bloodline.
and the
He was saying
bloodline.
that get to that stuff right there
Yeah,
because
that's what I was
all
about
the
to get
other.
into. I was just adding that also. I was adding that. I was about to
Oh,
get into
I'm
that
so
because
sorry. So
no, you
sorry.
good, you good. But the whole like you said, the whole dynamic and what is the bloodline gonna do out there, or Kevin Owens, or how's the story gonna play out and stuff? Because it did end up with what even when Jey Uso hitting a super kick on Sami Zayn. They kept saying, it was friendly fire, and then fans start chanting asshole. Then after that, because it
It
was
was
a lot.
friendly fire, but then you see that look like he
Yeah, look at
like
his face.
I
Just
ain't
look at his
care.
face after.
He's like, I
I
ain't
ain't.
mean to, but I don't really care either.
Like, it is what it
Like, there we
is.
go.
Like, it is
It
what it
is what it is.
is.
Oh, hey, I shot that nigga. Oh, okay, whatever.
And,
I
and, and,
wasn't
and
aiming for him, but if he got hit, so what?
it is what it is. And then when Owens hit the stunner on Reigns, and then Sami Zayn stopped the referee then from making the count, and then Owens just looking at him, and he says that this is your family. That's your family.
That was the
And
moment
every
right there, bro.
That was
Right
the
there.
moment.
When he hit that
Hmm.
stunner and Sammy broke it up, that was when I was like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we
And
go.
he was like, this is your family. That's your family and whatnot. And then they just having them stare at each other then and whatnot, just kind of looking on. And he's just pointing at Reigns and stuff. And then Jimmy just super kicks him, and Owens caught it, but then Sammy just low blowed him. And then you just see Owens kind of laying on him, and then Sammy don't know whether he wanted to show remorse or not. And then he just looked at Reigns and just nodding like, "Do it, do it," and then just hits the haluva kick. And Reigns, no, that wasn't Reigns that got the spear, but yeah, Jey Uso, like, he told Jey, do it, like, telling him to do it, just point, like, get Owens, just do it, and hit the splash, and it was over after that. So Sammy having to show his allegiance to the bloodline, just like nodding, like, it's done, I've done my job, I did it for the bloodline, and just betray Owens and whatnot.
It was a
My
nice
brother had a
callback to
point.
oh, go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry, Steven. Nah, my brother. Oh, Steven, I meant to tell you, this is all off subject. I'm so sorry we about to go off subject. My brother got your name as a middle name, but it's so funny. That's why I could get your name so quick. But that when we first started talking, I got your name so quickly. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's totally random. But speaking of my brother, he came in the room today this morning and said, "Man, the internet fans are dumb." And I was wondering why he said it. And I'm like, why? He said, why everybody happy about this man getting hugged by Jey Uso and them in a match when they know he is going to get turned on at any minute? And I'm like, that is true. I was seeing all type of heart emojis and happiness and oh my god, look at this. I'm like, are y'all stupid? Y'all
Like,
dumb?
they're all
Y'all
hugging
y'all
in the ring.
I'm like, y'all dumb, right? Y'all stupid. Y'all could get got too there if that's the case. Oh man, anybody can get y'all. Because if that's the case, y'all know what's gonna happen to this man.
Yeah, but the art of pro wrestling is buying in, man. You gotta give yourself up to the story, bro. Like we know
I
where it's
but the
going,
story, but
but you
the
just gotta
story,
enjoy it, bro.
no. I don't get me wrong, Steven. No, we still I'm still in story mode in my head. But I'm just saying, like, in story, like I wouldn't be happy for this part of the story because in story, we just saw Roman Reigns hug this man and had this look on his face still. So that's what I'm saying. Like in story, I'm thinking to myself, like, it's like you reading the book and you seriously know what's about to happen. It's like, oh man, they all celebrate. Like, man, this celebration ain't about to be for long. I don't think we should be happy for this celebration. That I understand what you said though. We gotta look at it, be a part of the story and get yourself lost inside of it. But you just looking like they don't really like this guy.
To that point too, they're all heels, so we shouldn't be rooting
Yeah.
for this
Yeah, like
anyway.
they are heels. So yeah, I remember that. You see them all hugging in the ring and stuff right after, like,
See,
they've
man,
embraced Jey Uso. Like, we
you
can
got my stomach
somewhat
turning,
accept
man.
this man now.
He's telling the guys on the truth. Cause here's the thing, why y'all he just betrayed his I wouldn't even call that a friend. Also with the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn thing, everybody over here looking like, oh, he betrayed Kevin Owens. Look, man, look, the
How many
things that
times
Kevin Owens
Owens betrayed
did.
him?
The things that Kevin Owens did to this man. How dare y'all call this a betrayal?
You know how many times Owens has betrayed him?
Just remember Owens' first night. Owens' first night at NXT.
NXT.
I wouldn't
Took
call
him
this a
out.
betrayal. I would call this a long time coming.
Payback.
That's facts. Cause look,
Payback.
after all of that, Sammy finally found people who accept him for him. Like even knowing where this is going, right? Like
Uh-huh.
Jimmy and Solo have been cool with this dude from jump. And
Yeah.
then now finally, and then Roman started liking him, and now finally Jay came around to liking him, and it's like, yeah, KO, we already like, why are we friends when these people accepted me for me, and all you do is beat me up, bro?
You
Right.
betrayed me more
Whatever
times than I can count.
whatever chance you get, you go put that knife in my back. Like, nah, I ain't about to give you that chance anymore.
But that
Like,
for real has been like my larger point about this whole match is like this like a 40-minute plus match, and only the stuff like this is the good stuff. Like everything else is
Mm-hmm.
just kind of there.
It was
And
filler. It was
you
yeah,
know,
filler.
filler.
I feel like you
Yeah.
if we didn't if this wasn't a War Games match and it was like a traditional Survivor Series match, it probably would have gone off a lot better if it were
Yeah.
just in the end it was Roman and Sammy left with KO and you told the same story but without the 40-minute cage match rules bullshit before that.
Yeah, we didn't even get any blood. I
Well,
So
you're never gonna get that,
I'm
bro.
know.
here.
But
Here's the thing. Like, so do we go back and say, like, well, Vince was right for just go ahead and just making the elimination chamber match back in '02 because Triple H wanted to pitch this at '02 back then. He wanted to pitch the War Game, and Vince kind of shut it down and like, nah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the elimination. We're gonna come up with our own concept and do the elimination chamber, and that's why the elimination chamber came up to Survivor Series in 2002. But here's the thing: do we say, Vince, you had a good point, or Triple H, you botched the hell out of this? Which one is it?
well, I do want to say one thing because like you bring up like the war games, like did it really work? I can almost say that about the fight pit in a way because some things from NXT don't transition well to the main roster, and it looks like it's really
Or
doing that right now when you think about it.
remember we were talking about the fight pit. Remember I just said only I agree it didn't work, but I said on a different note why it didn't work. You had a guy who not a shooter as Seth Rollins. He not a shooter. He never really put people in the numerous submission moves. His move set is not a guy who that much of a grappler and mat wrestler. He kind of got a mixture of everything in his arsenal, but he don't really have that too many submission holds or anything to make the fight pit look good. So it was like he was a fish out of water. Remember how who would Matt Riddle opponent back
Yeah,
in the other fight pit was
Timothy
Timothy
Thatcher.
Dasher. That's a shooter. He's a shooter, straight up. And so that's what made the fight pit good because it was two shooters in there in the fight pit with each other. When you had Seth Rollins against Riddle, that didn't look right because you also thinking in your head, you, well, Riddle was already going to win. I automatically know Riddle was going to win because on the simple path, like, oh, well, this match is tailor made for Riddle. This match ain't tailor made for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins can't even do anything basically. I thought like he can't go on the top rope. He can't do anything. He can't do none of the moveset that make him Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, I think War Games itself is fine, but I don't want War Games in place of Survivor Series. Like,
Right.
I mean, if you think about some of the best Survivor Series things, even in recent memory, like the Authority versus the Non-Authority, or the SmackDown
Yep.
versus Raw 2017 tag match and stuff like that.
Or
It's like
yep.
War Games is cool, but I don't want War Games if it means that we're not getting what Survivor Series is, because them not having any Survivor Series matches on this card, it didn't even feel right, especially you had the opportunity to do that. But
Like
a
yeah,
larger point, I didn't even like that they just did War Games because it was November. I hate that. Like if you want to do war games, do it when the opportunity calls for it, when the feud calls for it. Like, don't just, well, it's November, so here's war games. Like that that's where it got ridiculous in NXT, where you start seeing they already announced the pay per view, so then they start forming the teams around the pay per view rather than, well, here's the bloodline feud. They obviously have to settle this in war games and stuff, and it's like I don't like that at all. And so for them to do these
Yeah,
two matches in place of the tag matches is I wasn't feeling it like at all, especially when you could have told the same story in the matches that this show made famous.
yeah. I most definitely agree with you, Steven. I
That's
most
true,
definitely agree.
because even I look at
I
the
love
whole
it. My
Survivor
bad. I'm
Series.
sorry.
Oh no, you good, you good. But I was gonna say like just adding war games in the Survivor Series, like it's almost like something didn't like click well in a way with it, like what Steven just explained, just from the teams and how they was like, okay, we're not really gonna do anything like Survivor Series this time. We're gonna do like war games, and a lot of it just somewhat didn't come off kind of well, and how, like I said, we already knew the date and when it was coming. And then again, I could even kind of point out, like, let's remember, we saw like War Games literally earlier back in February. So this is like the fourth War Games match we got in a year.
I forgot all about that one. So I ain't gonna even lie to you, Bryce. I really forgot about that one.
Yeah,
I,
because like I said, we saw it on NXT at the time and stuff with the whole black and gold versus, you know, Nickelodeon and color NXT and whatnot. Like we saw that, and like I said, we saw the guys one, we saw the women's one earlier in that point in time also.
yeah, I understand. That we just speak it off of we just speak it off of at hindsight.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I
After
understand.
we just
I
watched
just
the
kind of
match.
I'm just kind of counting, like, you like, so I know we still saw it tonight, yesterday and whatnot, but I'm like, man, we really had like a total of four of these things now. So I just thought it was kind of like, I just thought like Academy add into it, given being a change with the whole pay per view and stuff. But it does look like War Games does come around November a lot. Even Steven said also, especially around Survivor Series time, because NXT, let's remember NXT did that, so it's pretty much true.
Yeah, remember when they did it last, or was it I think the year before last year? Like they already announced the show, and then that's when the Pat McAfee Undisputed Era stuff and the women's stuff started brewing. Like after they already announced War Games is happening, so then they started booking around. Well, now we have to get our teams together for War Games.
Together,
It's,
right?
like
Yeah,
Where
that's hella
where
lame.
I don't want to take nobody to the way back machine. You know what I'm saying? To back, I mean, to things that we probably never seen when we were, before we were born. But here's the thing: Survivor Series was the answer to Starcade. Not Starcade. It wasn't Starcade. I try to remember, but it was an answer to WCW big event that had War Games in November, and I think that's what the tradition they try to keep. Like, all right, cool. War Games was here in November at that time, so every November, I think they trying to keep up with the tradition. That's just a shot in the dark. Bam. I just that's what I thought. A shot in the dark. That's what I was thinking. Like, there's probably a reason why they doing it every November.
that's
Elimination
true.
Chamber is better though, by the way, like you said.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
it is. It is.
Yes, it is. I
It's
love the
elimination
elimination
chamber.
chamber. You get your brutality, you get your story, you get your suspense, you get all of that at once.
That's true. That's definitely true. Like I said, war games, like it's not like you're waiting for a while for something to happen until everybody comes out. Then we actually get to something. Because before, like I said, we're already sitting through a 40-something minute match as is already. Then it's not really going to get important until like everybody's in the ring. Then
I feel like I just feel like with war games is like I just think it either the number needs to go down
yeah,
from
it was 5
five
on
to at
5 this
least
time.
three or something at least.
Well, we went from 3, then we went to 4, and now we're at 5. At
I,
least this time, this match did not involve the Undisputed Era this time, because the majority of these things have involved the Undisputed Era.
This is
because
the
it was
first
tailor
year.
made for them. It was tailor made for them. They a team, so another team needs to form up to get that this overpowered team that will beat everybody else in NXT. Oh,
Yeah.
good Adam Cole, good Kyle O'Reilly. Remember that? Do you remember those two?
Oh,
I
I
remember
was
those
there.
two.
I was there.
No, I said, do you remember? Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly when they were good? Man,
Yeah, when they were the shit. Yeah.
yeah, man. Those
Before
were the days.
these injuries just keep coming out of nowhere. Or well, then
Before
again,
the
I'm even
injury,
gonna count the injuries. I'm not even gonna count the
I'm about to
injuries.
say, how dare you just count the injury?
I'm not
Please, it wasn't
counting
the injury.
booking
It
in
was before.
AEW. Yeah, I'm about to say the booking, of course, because I've said it before. Adam Cole, honestly, they were like gods in NXT. Those people, they were like gods. Okay, them niggas could not be stopped.
Never.
Yep.
So like, it's kind of crazy. Like, man, remember when they was the shit? It makes you wonder.
Well, remember
Man.
when NXT was the shit? Like,
Yeah, Patrick
if you want to
Funk.
get deep about it, like,
Yeah, remember
Right.
when NXT was the shit?
My goodness. Those were the days.
Yeah,
Those were the days.
remember when it was the shit, and it was really it was the shit that everybody wanted to watch before they
Yes.
literally became developmental.
First of all, why they just keep it on the network? Because the network was that what it was
They had
and
to
shit
compete
when
with
it was on
AEW.
the network.
yeah,
Man, they
They
that's
could
had
have
to,
exactly
just
what happened.
had to compete with AEW.
And they
and
killed
they
the
could and
brand.
right they could move they could move they top two at all. They could not move Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, so they could not move those two. I understand what y'all saying because if they could move those two, the only thing they can move is NXT.
Yeah, and then like I said, made 2 hours, and they had to try to push more people, which it benefited some people. I'll say that. But some said they should have just threw all their best ones out there if they wanted to beat AEW. They should have just kept putting out their best people.
Yeah, NXT didn't die till about last year. So, like even during
Yeah,
the pandemic, they were still cooking, man. That's
they
what we
were
got.
cut right.
Yeah, they still
Keith
had some
Lee
stuff.
winning the title. We got Sasha
Yeah,
versus Io. Like they were
yeah,
still cooking in 2020.
yeah.
It was last year that they just said, "Nah, we're done."
Yeah. We done.
Yeah,
We
we're
tapped.
doing something different. We're getting rid of all the black and gold guys, basically.
Basically,
Yeah, and
That's
that's what killed the brand right there. That's what really killed it.
that's why that's why it's literally developmental now. It's literally developmental. Or if they want to send main roster people back there just
It's just
because.
a. I don't think it's just because. I think it's to help them come along.
Work for the
Cause
man.
you can't get better. You can't get better going against another green guy.
Yeah,
facts.
that's true.
You can't do that. So you need people like Apollo to come down there to because even though Braun is having had a decent year from last year to this year, here's the thing: he still if you throw him on the main roster, he still look lost because he don't know how to really get himself over like that. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, like he had his weeks. Like last week, was it that week? But you get what I'm saying? Like Braun need help still. If you want him to become a main eventer on the main roster, he still need help. So that's why Apollo is there.
Yeah. And shit, that's why I guess why they still got, Mandy is the champion whenever they will ever stop that.
Now it's different for the women roster. They just I don't know what's going on with them. They have enough people that not green. You know what I'm saying? Alba Fire is not green. She is not no person who just a newbie. She's a legit wrestler. Like man, for real. We just overlooking her. We throw her in another feud. Took her out that feud and throw her in another feud. So she out the title picture. Now we got to have this convoluted match. But enough with that. We get
Yeah,
it off.
King of
So,
the Mountain. King of the Mountain. Yeah, that's right, to get off subject. But
but
overall thoughts on this entire show.
I did not enjoy myself for a lot of
a
it.
lot of it I didn't. I'm with Steven. I didn't either.
Yeah, it was kind of I only,
And
like I said, my best thing was the triple threat match.
yeah,
And
Like
then I
going
probably,
into it, I had the same feelings I had going into Full Gears. Like, yeah, this build has been kind of ass, but if the show is that much of a banger, like it can be
remember
We can bring it back, but they definitely did not.
This wasn't a good showing. Remember, we were just saying last week how WWE you have a lackluster build to pay per views, and then once we get to the pay per view, we actually have a couple of bangers.
Yeah,
Match wise, not this time. Not
not
this
this
time.
time.
No,
Not this
definitely
time right
not.
here.
No, it
And
was not there.
not there this time. And I feel like this is one of those things that Triple H is gonna look back on and have to make decisions like next year. Should I just keep the tradition? Should I just keep it 505 elimination match? Should I just do that? I'll try something different. It was a hit or miss. You should never did. I wouldn't say you should never try something new, but at least you can live and learn for those type of things, so we can move on. But
And that's
brother,
just us, because like I said when we started, I was real curious because I didn't know if I was going to be in the minority or not. Like, because maybe people really like this show. I don't know, but I know I didn't.
I only like really one match out of all this stuff. Like I said, I thought it was the best match of the night, the triple threat. Finn and AJ, I'd probably put that second. Just so it was okay, it was good, but it wasn't really, like you said, never really got out of first gear. The War Games matches, I'm putting the guys one over the girls one.
yeah, of
Uh,
course,
like that was a no brainer. The worst thing out of this show was the SmackDown Women's Title.
title match, yeah,
So like that's how I kind of look at it. But like I said, we already talked about the War Games of how they just dragged or it was one thing Steven you had said to me about the annoying sound buzzer or countdown
Oh yeah, I
thing
forgot
yesterday.
about that. Yeah, cut that shit out, bro. That that needs to go.
Yeah, what is up with that sound? Just make a
I
buzz meter.
I just think like the buzzing sound was just unnecessary when you see the countdown right there in front of your face. And then they ain't like the audience bit today any day. They counted down with it. So the buzzer really like what was the point? And I just did like I didn't like it either. Like this whole night was just confusing to me. Like it was one of those things that I know WWE wanted me to like it, like wanted me to be as super excited about. But it's one of those things like they want me to be as super excited about, but I'm not. And I can't make myself be excited for days. I was just looking like I, there's something about this. Like why is it something about tonight? And I'm just not. It's just not clicking for me.
It might be because where everything goes from here. Like, there's only one thing off of this show to be excited about moving forward, and that's the same
Right.
thing you're probably excited about
You
when it
excited
starts.
about? Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
bloodline. The bloodline.
The
That's
bloodline.
it. That's it. Like you know, it's just getting to the point that like, man, both companies have a problem with that. We can say both companies have a problem with that. That they main event picture is booked so strong that all the rest look like shit compared to the main event picture. Did we have a conversation about that break on the bus on our way home not too long ago? I was
Yeah,
saying
I
about
think so.
AEW main event picture. I was like, man, that main event picture, it never fails. You know what I'm saying? It probably had a couple of hit or miss, but AEW main event picture always been solid. You get what I'm saying? Always at least been solid. And that's the same going for WWE. They main event picture always solid. You know what I'm saying? But everything else is not as solid as the main event picture.
I will say to compare the two shows, I feel like, and we can forgive the Thanksgiving episode because we all know what that is, bro. That's not a real follow up to,
Yeah,
you know.
that was a waste.
But to compare the two shows, I feel like there was more to be excited about coming out of Full Gear than there was for Survivor Series. Like at least we got new champions and rivalries came to an end on Full
And
Gear. And
yeah,
this one is just kind of like we're kind of in the same position that we were when the show started, except for the bloodline stuff. Like,
And we're not supposed to be at the same spot when it comes down to war games. War games
exactly.
supposed to be an ender. So we supposed to have a closing book on that feud.
Yeah, that's true. Some of this is just really going to continue. It's not really ending. It's just going to continue into something else. That's basically where it's gonna go. It's like you think like, hey, this is War Games. This is a big match. This has got to end it. This is like this got to be just the close, the cap on everything. But no, it's just gonna end up in some other match that will happen at some point that they'll come up with.
Yeah, Bianca will
Yeah,
come out on Raw and cut a promo, and she'll be interrupted by Damage Control. We know. Ain't nothing finna.
I
Rhea
want
and
a
Mia
cage
still gonna
match.
fight. We know.
A
It's
Hell in
just
a
how
yeah.
Cell.
they do things.
Yeah, well, I want a Hell in a Cell next. Give us that. So that's what it'll be.
And they
All
already
right.
did
Oh
that.
wait, we already
You're right.
did that. TLC.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Give us it'll be a TLC
How
match.
many few how many few ended matches that we're gonna have give these to, and the feud never ends? Like how
Hey,
we,
Judgment Day and
we
AJ.
but they never had few ended matches. They never had no Hell in the Cell matches. They
Okay, all
ain't
right. Oh,
had
feud
no
ending matches. My
TLC
bad.
matches.
Feud ending
They
matches. Yeah.
yeah, few ended matches. A lot of matches that Bailey and Bianca had. Last Woman Standing. That's a feud ender. Like what y'all doing here?
Bro, Bianca
Like
literally came out on Raw and said, "Yeah, I packed her up, but she's still beef with my friends." So War Games, like,
Yeah. War Games. We're still going. Yeah.
come on, bro. Like, y'all not even trying now, bro.
trying no more. You at least give me a excuse. Nah, you ain't even give me an excuse no more. You was like, "Man, yeah, I did wrap that feud up with a bow, but nah, never mind. I still beefing with those girls. They beefing with my friend.
Yeah. We want
Can your
those tag.
friends
We want
handle this? They are grown women. You know that, right? Uh,
Hey, come on. Like, oh, hey, don't worry. We're still gonna continue this feud. We want those tag belts or something like that. It's still gonna go. It's gonna keep going. Like we're just gonna we just added some more people this time, just for War Games. By Monday, it'll just be back to another 6-woman tag with them or something like that.
yeah,
So that
I do totally agree with Steven with the two shows. And I'm glad we got to review both shows back to back weeks. So it gave us some clarity. We could just compare them to. People always like, oh, well, you gotta be competitive. With competition is essential. All right, all the time. Comparison is essential too. So it ain't like we compare these shows just to say one show is better than the other show. No, we just compare them two because they are the same thing, wrestling. So of course we're
yeah,
going to end up comparing it.
I
But
will say. Go
but
ahead. You
but
finish.
with the comparison though, I do agree because yes, you at least came out full gear with some type of all right, some new stuff about to go on. All right, Moxley gonna end up going to hit different way. We already know that FJF gonna be in some type of feud soon when he come back this week. You know, Saraya got rid of Britt. So Britt is I see they trying to rehash that little beef with her and Hater. They're gonna have rehash that soon for the 10,000th time. Um you know what I'm saying? Everything came out wrapped up in a bow. Everybody about to go on to their next situation. Whereas War Games Survivor Series wasn't like that. We're gonna end up having something else going on with damage control to Bianca. And Bailey just made it worse because I mean not Bailey, Becky coming back. I don't want to say it made it worse, but in this situation it did because now we got to continue this. You know,
Just added Becky.
Yeah, we just
back
added Becky
back to
now.
the mix. And so it kind of made it worse a little bit. Like dang, we got to continue this. I thought this was gonna be wrapped up, but nah, Becky got to come in and you got to wrap up her story too with them. So a lot of these people, Mia Yim and Bria still gonna go at it. It's like nothing ending, nothing ended.
Yeah.
With
I,
the bloodline, nothing ended. The story is still going. So
I
I'm really receiving with that one.
I would say two things for kind of ending this whole thing. One, I guess I don't know where Nikki Cross goes at this point, and number two, I'm kind of glad we at least didn't see Miz versus Dexter because wasn't that supposed to be a match on here? I could have swore that.
Well, they never said Survivor Series. I don't think
I
he
sw-
said 2 weeks or something like that, but I don't think he said Survivor Series.
okay, I thought it was a Survivor Series then, because I kept
What?
thinking
What
that.
hey, thank God. What is wrong with you?
Well, yeah, I don't want to see that in general. I'm sick of that feud, anyways. It's ridiculous at this point. No, I don't see where to go. We've already spoke on this. We don't know where it ends at this point, or who's paying off who, or why am I seeing a 23-minute match with Miz and Gargano out there? Like, come on now.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't really mad at it. To be honest with you, like you don't really see that coming
It was
from the
starting.
Miz.
It was starting to drag. Honestly, after a while, it was starting to
I
drag.
mean, that's opinions. I ain't think it really did. I just thought it was just like okay, I never saw the Miz go this long. You know,
Because I think after a while, it just kind of, like in my opinion, I just think it just kind of dropped my interest after a while. But yeah, Dexter, I don't know where this goes at this point. Dexter, just stare or choke out or whatever. I don't even know anymore.
like Dexter character is not going to be a champion of any sort. To be perfectly honest, like, I don't even think his character even fit well for being a champion or Intercontinental US. None of that. Like I just think his character is one of those guys who you got
He's
to
just
beat
around.
just to get.
He's
He,
around.
you're right.
So
He's around, and it's like his character is not built for a championship. Like it's just really not.
he's just around basically. So yeah. But any final thoughts? Anything before we go?
Yeah, they getting a C- for me.
C minus. I
Yeah, C
don't blame.
minus.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. C minus. Yeah, this show was not all that, and I just felt like I watched this show. I still watched it because it was, but going throughout the whole night, it was like, what is this? And after the show, I went out and did something else.
Like even the match I thought was the best match still ended up not making sense because they just gave it to Austin Theory when they could have did
Yeah,
that 2 weeks ago. Like
Yeah.
that still didn't make any sense. Like, hey, we
I,
wasted money in the bank. We'll give it to you though, still in the next 2 weeks.
it's like I with that triple threat match. You know what the funniest spot to me was, but they wanted us to make a big deal out of that spot. I know y'all know it. That double hurt lock, that was the stupidest looking thing I ever seen in my life. But
he couldn't get it, bro.
He couldn't get
he
it. He
wasn't
was
supposed
trying. He
to.
was
That's
trying.
why he wasn't supposed to get it. Because if he did, all they have to do is slip his little self, not little, but slip himself right in between them and slip down. And you got the hurt lock on self, but you ain't got it on me fully. What? It's like I was looking like what? No, no, don't do that spot again. Don't. Dear, I mean, ironic. In theory, it looked good. In your head, it probably thought like, oh my god, if I get both of them in a hurt lock, it look like it's brutal. It make me look like a monster. Then when it's in practice, it's like, nah, nope.
They thought this nigga had Dr. Octopus arms or something, bro. I don't
Right?
know
He was gonna
how
wrap
he
your
was even supposed to get that, bro.
Ah!
he, he was supposed
Oh
to he
man.
was supposed to wrap their whole body. He had stretch arms, just wrap their whole body against it. He,
I'm saying,
Fantastic.
bro.
Mr.
like
Fantastic.
right, he thought he was Mr. Fantastic out there. So no, bro, no, I don't think this gonna work. I think I was just rolling at that part. I was like, and then the commentator trying to make a big deal. Even the crowd, I ain't gonna even lie, the crowd even. I guess they lost themselves in the match too. And they, oh my God, there was something. I wasn't that lost in the match like though. So I guess I wasn't looking at it like that. I like look stupid.
Oh man, that is crazy. That's hilarious. But anything you want to plug before we go?
No, I'm ready to head on out, bro.
Yeah,
Same here.
and
I had stuff to do
well,
too.
Kyle, that's about it. Kyle Straight Face 40. That's about it.
Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. See y'all then. Whenever the next review will be, I don't know, because I don't know when the next big pay-per-view, whatever's coming.
The Rumble?
The Rumble.
Yeah, the Rumble. That's it, the Rumble. Hey, but we'll still probably come back next month with the end of the year review.
All right.
Maybe.
Later on that
Thank
month.
you.
So we'll see you then. But thank you guys once again. I will see y'all later. And